How's it going, my dudes? Welcome back to Planet Coaster 2, and today it's time to start a brand new series. Welcome to Camtaso Park. Camtaso means mascot in the Planco language made up by Frontier, so yes, in English our park's name would be Mascot Park, which, yeah, Camtaso Park definitely sounds more exotic. Wait, did I say mascot? Yes, you heard that right. I'm impressed you're still paying attention, and if you are, I think you should subscribe to see every new Planet Coaster 2 videos I have in store for you. I originally planned to build a coaster blueprint for every new character in the game, and then I realized I could make an entire park out of those, so you know what? I think we should do both. That's why today we're not starting with a boring park entrance. No, my friends, we're going straight into the action with our first coaster blueprint, and there's no better character to start the series with than the jawsomest of them all, Bodhi the surfing shark. Bodhi is the mascot of the new resort theme, a mix of Polynesian and 90s species with a lot of references to surfing, and yes, I think you've figured it out by now, I'll be making a B&M Surf Coaster today. Even after playing Planet Coaster for 2.5 years, I had never made a B&M coaster before, so I'm super excited to do my take on this more modern model by the manufacturer. Let's get building. I started the layout with a long launch inspired by Pipeline, which is also ending with an airtime bump. Pipeline being the only surf coaster in the world, I decided to do my own thing after the horseshoe at the beginning, which whips you into a forceful rising turn that leads us to a drop that gives us a pop of ejector. After that we turn into a smaller horseshoe, taking us to B&M's take on an ejection drifter, you know, that odd sideways airtime sensation from Voltron. Once out of the drifter, an airtime hill acts as a bridge over the launch, leading to a corkscrew, which is going to be our only inversion of the layout. Until now, I really decided to make the aerial parts of the layout a representation of B&M's graceful large-scale shaping. As for what comes after, this time I took inspiration from surfing videos and made more daring moves that you would not normally see on a B&M, but whatever, it's a game, let's have fun. First comes a whippy airtime bump ending in a helix that leads to a twisted S-turn, then a turn into a cheetah hunt inspired section gets you to a turnaround, and finally this element. I was thinking we could call it surfer drift, but what would you call it? Tell me in the comments. Oh, and of course that's where we get to the brake run, and that's what gets our B&M Surf Coaster done. I really enjoyed making this layout. It was a big jump outside of my comfort zone to try a new manufacturer, but I think combining classic B&M sized elements and smaller, more rapid-fire surf-inspired elements really makes this a unique coaster for our park. Of course, there still aren't any custom supports at this point of the game's life cycle. It has only just released after all, so we have to use the in-game ones, which surprisingly work very well with this model. I don't mind using those auto-generated supports, especially if that means I can focus on many other aspects of the project. The many other aspects in question? Well, see for yourself, my friends. I've been wanting to try the Polynesian theme for so long, and this first coaster blueprint for the park was the perfect opportunity to try it. Something you won't find in the blueprint if you download it on the Frontier Workshop is this beach showing how crazy good the water looks in this game, especially with how the water affects the camera, as you can see here. I could stay in here all day, but we have a lot to check out, so let's go! Starting off near the entrance, we can see the end of the launch and the beginning of the layout, which has our bigger elements. I wanted to let them speak for themselves for the most part, but add a mini volcano that erupts every time the coaster rises up from that forceful turn. The sound effects are a little weak at this point, so I didn't add sound because it's unnoticeable, but the fire definitely gives a great effect off-ride. When the coaster goes low to the ground, it comes near these water features. I don't really know what they are. Birdie suggested hot springs because of the volcano, but I think they're just an excuse to add water features to our surf-themed coaster. Speaking of which, they're made out of water shapes, a new piece in this game that people have been using as a substitute for windows, but they also work great for their intended purpose. Right near this place, we have the entrance sign and the entrance itself. I call this coaster Jawsome because our mascot for the area will be a shark, and also because it's awesome, isn't it? Isn't it? Once you go into the entrance, the queue line immerses you in a tropical jungle where you're surrounded by the tall elements of the coaster and the launch in order to really get you excited while you wait by giving you things to watch. The queue does not feature cattle pens, it's completely linear, and frankly it might be because I'm a little scared to try cattle pens with the new pathing system. I'll have to see if we can still make them in the future, but for now we have one long queue line instead. Once you exit the tropical forest, you get face to face with the pre-launch platform and the station. The station is probably my favorite part of the whole blueprint. The realistic lighting of the new game really helps sell covered environments, and it makes you want to spend the extra time to put many more details in there. We have numbered rows with surf racks along each group to imply that you're getting your surfboard as you go on the ride. You can also find my usual clutter, custom-made loose article storage, and my signature operator corner, which I'm gonna make for every single coaster I make in the game. Scaling just makes covering the operator booths so much easier, and I can also add many realism items like light switches, power outlets, the clipboard decal for early morning checks, and of course the ride description board, which, even if it's only the second time I make one of those, are already iconic to my style. The cherry on top for the station are those custom gates that I've made which open when the coaster leaves the station. They're custom animatronics again. I can't get enough of those, they're fantastic. I know the ones on Pipeline at SeaWorld are longer, but unfortunately the preset animation meant that they closed sooner than expected, so I had to shorten them for them not to collide with the back rows. We're not done yet. Once the coaster has gone through its layout, it arrives on the brake run near the transfer track and its maintenance building, where the trains can be unloaded and offloaded at the back of the building, of course. Coming out from the exit, we're greeted by the Exit Plaza, a place where you can gather your thoughts while still being surrounded by the coaster. Here you will find Jawsome Gifts, a place for our guests to get our area-specific bamboo hats and surfers rest and ice cream trucks, sorry lactose-intolerant people, with tables on the side for a truly relaxing experience after a thrilling ride. Speaking of thrills, as you exit this mini plaza through the corkscrew of Jawsome, you can also take a look at the low-to-the-ground parts of the layout that have been made that much more thrilling thanks to rock work. I am extremely happy with my second ever coaster blueprint on Planet Coaster 2, and I'm thankful I didn't have to rush this one compared to Air Force during the early access. Jawsome is truly, well, pardon the pun, but it is Jawsome. Let's ride our B&M Surf Coaster, ride the wave, my friends. So, how was Jawsome? I'm super proud of it, especially considering it's my first ever B&M coaster. I think I did a good job. Remember, even if this creation was made for a park, you can download it as a blueprint right now on the Frontier Workshop by searching for YanBK1608. You just won't get the terrain paint and the beach next to it, but you will get everything else, including the paths. I hope you've enjoyed this creation I've made for the first episode of Camtaso Park. If you did, please gently tap the like button and subscribe, because in the next episode we'll be finishing the Polynesian area with my first custom flat ride and many other things like a beachside tiki bar. How does that sound? Sorry, got excited. I love drinking cocktails in theme parks. If you want to talk about this creation, leave a comment down below or join my Discord server, the YanHQ, with the link in the description, where 175 other players already socialize daily. Consider joining the channel supporters as well. They just got sneak peeks at this project just as I was building it and got to see this first episode in early access 3 days before its release. I would also like to welcome the Mega Gamer 429 and Bentoka to the channel supporters and congratulate New Channel and Bodhi for earning the 1-month badge. If you'd like to join those absolute legends, the link to do so is in the description. Now's the perfect time because all of the supporters who join before the end of the series get their names in this park forever. Thank you all for watching. This has been Yan, and I'll see you on Planet Coaster 2 with the next episode of Camtaso Park.